Have you ever had a dream to do something, but life had other plans? Well, that was me with walking the Cumbria Way, a multi-day hike across a county that means so much to me. Yeah, it would be hard, tiring, painful even.
My groin is on fire.
But also one of the most rewarding things I could ever do.
Now that is a view.
Carrying everything I needed on my back, staying wherever I pitched my tent. Utter freedom. But then work, time, other commitments, not knowing anything about wild camping, whatever it was, it just never happened. Years passed by. Life got in the way. But here's the thing, life is short. So I bought the gear, a train ticket to Ulverston, and said, F it, I'm doing it. The route starts here, leaving behind Ulverston and into the Blair Witch Project apparently.
This is my first ever multi-day long distance trail, and tonight will be my first ever wild camp. I had to choose somewhere special, somewhere close to my heart. It had to be the Cumbria Way. And the weather's looking good, you know. It's all falling into place. Now things will go wrong. I guarantee things will go wrong.
Yeah, things did indeed go wrong over the whole trip, and keep watching to find out how. But what's so special about this trail?
I've been coming to Cumbria all my life. My mum's side of the family are all Cumbrian.
I'm a Lancashire lad, but a childhood of visiting Cumbria and staying at my grandparents' farm instilled a deep connection for this county, and more importantly led to my love of the outdoors. This passion of mine was shaped by the farmland, lakes and fells of this beautiful place, and has stuck with me ever since.
And even though I've been here hundreds of times, it always kind of stops me in my tracks because of how beautiful it is. I just love this place and I love this county. Not just the national park of the Lake District, the county of Cumbria.
So I'm treating this walk as a tribute, a sort of pilgrimage if you like, to a place that has given me so much joy over the years. The plan is to complete it in 4 days, averaging around 20 miles a day. The actual route is only around 73 miles, but with filming, looking for camping spots and occasionally getting lost.
I missed the turn off. I think I've gone off course again.
It'll be more like 80 miles over the 4 days.
It's ambitious but realistic. Yep, gone off course. Because I'm wild camping, and I might wild camp every night of this trail, I've got everything on my back that I need. It is pretty heavy, and I've never walked with such a heavy pack before, so my knees will be screaming in a bit, I think. Fitness wise, I'm fine. If anything will let me down, I reckon it'll be my feet, but hopefully not the knees or the back. If I wasn't filming this for YouTube, my pack would be 2 kilograms lighter because I've had to carry loads of battery packs to make sure my kit doesn't run out. Obviously, if I don't stay at any hotels, I've got nowhere to charge my stuff up, so we'll see. I'm not religious myself, but lovely church.
Noticing I had over 70 miles still to go, it was all too much.
Right, I've had enough. I'm going to sack it off and go back to Ulverston.
I gotta say, that is top banter. By this point, I was so hungry I could eat a horse radish. I don't know, there's a joke in there somewhere.
I'm just loving this. I still can't quite believe that I'm actually doing it. The Lake District is obviously more bigger and imposing and more epic looking. But if it was like this all the way around, I'd still be very, very happy. This is beautiful. Starting to feel a little bit lethargic now. Not eating for a few hours, definitely not had enough to drink. So I think I'm going to stop, refuel, have a little breather. Seen that sign on pretty much everyone's YouTube Cumbria Way videos. You've got to film it, haven't you? And just like everyone else's video, there ain't no bull in this field. Ain't no bull. Don't know why I said it like that. Snickers time.
Here, get this. I don't know about Snickers, but by this point I had to have a break because I already felt like I'd done a marathon. That joke only works if you're old.
I don't know what video it was, but Sam Cully did this. So he wrapped a bit of tape around some cardboard. So I've got some gaffer tape there as well. you don't have to bring the whole roll, you just cut a little bit of cardboard up. Sam, I thought that was pretty genius, so thank you. While I'm sorting my feet out, I've put some of that on as well. It's some kind of like balm that you rub on. Just, yeah. If there's one thing that will ruin this trip, it'll be blisters for me. I just know it from previous experience. I am prone to getting blisters. How much? That's 2 deer, literally. That's safe, isn't it?
Hilarious jokes aside, it was here that I'd noticed something that I'd been hoping really wasn't going to happen.
I'm gonna have to stop again because my left foot's hurting. I can feel the blister forming already and it's not good on day one. I can battle on through the pain, but I need to have a proper look to see what's going on. Yeah, it's not good. I'm 8 miles in to a 70 plus mile trail and I've got a blister on my toe already. I'm just not having any luck recently. I've got a big blister on my foot, so I can either dwell on the bad news of my feet not being great already, and then I can worry about the next 3 days, what's that going to be like, or I can just try and forget about it and crack on. So I'm going to do that.
It was easy enough to forget about the blisters with this scenery to distract me and thoughts of tonight's wild camp, but the wind seemed to be getting worse by the hour.
This wind better do one before I set up my tent and I'll get blown off. Not like that. It just feels like we're getting into the Lake District now. Everything's just getting bigger and more imposing. This has been such an amazing day already. I don't even know where I'm going to camp tonight. I just know that it's going to be around the Coniston area, which is kind of, sorry, I'm a little bit out of breath. Not knowing exactly where you're going to sleep tonight is kind of part of the adventure.
Then Beacon Tarn came into view, which is a perfect spot for a little rest.
This is a great camping spot and found a little peg. I'm having that. You never know when that could come in handy.
And obviously only a moron would forget the peg.
Forgot that peg. I dug it into the ground. Forgot to get it out. I've got my own pegs, it's all good.
What a muppet. I'd never been to this area between Beacon Tarn and Coniston water, and for a while you think you've been transported from the Lake District and into somewhere like Montana.
Unbelievable. What a privilege it is to be able to do this. I would never take this for granted. If anyone's seen Yellowstone, the Dutton Ranch is just over there. Very muddy foot. If this path ever gets slippy, just help yourself. It'll be hung on that tree for another flipping 10 years. Nice bit of gorse here, Geo Wizard's favourite. Three and a half miles till we can have a beer. Here's the plan. I'm going to head down here, maybe chill by the lake for a bit, then go into Coniston, have a mooch around, get some nice food, have a beer, and then find somewhere to pitch up. Seen better days, this.
As I sat by the water, the increasing wind was making me have serious doubts about my plan to wild camp on the fells above Coniston.
If it's like this here, what's it going to be like up on tops? Kind of in two minds what to do now. The worst case scenario is just get a campsite, and that's not our worst case scenario anyway. It's perfectly lovely. Unless I can find a nice sheltered spot. I don't think a night on the tops is going to be possible.
I wanted my very first wild camp to be up on a hill, but that was looking unlikely.
I'm actually going to pass a campsite. So I might have a nosy and see what it's like. I'm sure they've got space. It's a Tuesday. But I will be honest, I'm a bit gutted. But I think weighing it up with the gusts, and I don't know how exposed it'll be up there. And if I go up there, it's probably too late to come back down. Might be pushing it a bit. I get it that that's a lovely spot to pitch up, but it's right next to the path. And don't have a flipping fire. Leave no trace, come on, leave no trace. Ah, that could be a good spot. Next to the path.
By reaching Coniston water, you subconsciously think Coniston village is nearby, but the path seems to go on and on. Eventually though, I reached the village and I have to say, I had a lovely time.
Screw it, back to plan A.
While I was, let's call it refuelling, the winds seemed to drop to reasonable levels and the fells above Coniston were just looking too inviting to turn down.
The plan is to get high up away from those farm buildings, but not too high that the wind gets a bit ridiculous. So I'm just going to walk up, try and find a nice little quiet spot out of the wind, tucked away somewhere.
And ideally don't end up like this.
I think I found the spot. Just here. Note to self, don't fall off there. That's option B. Yeah, happy with that. I'll pitch up right here. Right decision, I think. Love it. This is it. The place of my first ever wild camp. Oh, that was hard getting up here. Big stone there. Watch out for that. I'm so happy. And look at the weather. Come on. It's a bit breezy, but who cares?
Anyone watching this who's an experienced camper will have spotted a flaw in my genius plan. The ground is rock hard. Under that is just stone.
So I'm going to have to put them in like that.
So I'm going to have to get some bigger rocks than this and weigh it down with guy lines or something. Oh, it was all going so well. As the old saying goes, we adapt, we overcome. We use a peg as a rock. Trust me, everyone says this in Cumbria. But that peg I left at Beacon Tarn, turns out I really could have done with it.
There's not enough pegs to peg the front porch out. I'm missing 2 pegs, but I don't think it come with those pegs. So we've improvised.
Remember when I said my grandparents were Cumbrian and visiting them is what started my love of the outdoors, and in turn led me to want to walk the Cumbria Way? Well, after years of wanting to do it, the day before I set off, my mum told me something about my grandma which made me feel even more nostalgic about this walk. On the year that I finally do the Cumbria Way is the same year that my grandma would have turned 100 years old.
So I was having a little toast to her. I've had 2 pints in pubs, so water will do. So I'm going to dedicate this video to my grandma Miriam, my Cumbrian grandma.
The rest of the Cumbria Way videos are coming to the channel soon. If you haven't already, subscribe to not miss out. Cheers.